Good morning. How is everybody doing? I am on my phone today because I'm struggling to make sense of the internet. Obviously, that's always going to be an issue on when you're in a remote area of Scotland. So how is everybody doing? How are the intermittent fasters getting on? So you probably have heard we have got a phenomenal deal that you can buy one and get one free for our fasting retreat next week. So you would arrive here on Monday and you would, so we would have our dinner. Sorry, I'm just doing this. We would have our last meal together on Monday night, and then we'll fast all through the night, obviously, all day Tuesday, all day Wednesday, and a bit of Thursday morning. And then we'll have our brunch. And so the body will have all of that time to do some magical restoration and repair. And so I think more and more people now are starting to understand the phenomenal power of fasting. And obviously the big thing for me is the fact that it's free. And I was actually thinking about it earlier. You know, I always used to do a juice fast before I get into water fasting. And and now I just think, why would you bother making juice when you can just drink water? So it's totally free, probably as powerful. You still get hungry, so it doesn't really circumvent any of the feelings. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love juice fasting too. It's very powerful. But definitely when it comes to cost and hassle, then absolutely, hands down, the easiest thing to do is water fasting. So we're on our private supply here, which is really nice, because obviously the water thing is the water quality can be an issue. But having said that, don't get caught up on that nonsense, because what can happen is if you're a details person, you get so completely bogged down in the details that you actually don't do it. And we know from Batman Jelly's work in the prisons, Your Body's Many Cries for Water, that he was actually helping people to heal just by giving them water, and it wasn't the best quality, but it was better than nothing. So again, very, very, if you're a details person, it's really easy to get caught up in, what's perfection. And that's obviously what's great about Barmolach, being in the filtered supply without chemicals. And we love that. But unfortunately, we're not living in the perfect world, are we? We're living in this one. So it's really important that we spread the word and we just do it, and we enjoy it. So obviously you can come to Skye. It's £100 for the 4 days, 3 nights. Come with a pal, and yeah, you will be kept entertained every moment of the day. Now, a few of my friends, and obviously people that do the retreats end up becoming friends, they're going to be telling you about the power that of the fasting retreat that we did in Barmolach during the end of the summer, and how most people come quite scared, wondering how they're going to cope, and they end up, they're actually delighted as to how they managed it. And we had 16 of us in the last one, and there was one girl got unwell, but it turned out she had one of her digestive organs removed. And when I say unwell, she went through a lot of discomfort. She was never in any danger. But yeah, if you have had any of your digestive organs removed, you have to be aware of that. And what you have to do is just gently introduce the body to it. So this is a pretty short fast, as fast go. Great for beginners. Great to do it in this spectacular location, because my God, is it beautiful here. Like, I'm just like every day going, ugh. So just being in this nature is phenomenally powerful. And then, yeah, just taking out food, because we understand that more people are dying from the food that they eat than any other drug on the planet every day, and the suffering it causes when we're malnourished and quite often obese. The body's holding on to the toxicity because the body really just doesn't know what to do with it. So getting yourself intermittent fasting, hopefully you're joining in the intermittent fasting, and cutting out that food 3 hours before you go to bed, that's a huge start, and you will absolutely understand and feel the benefits very, very quickly of doing that one simple thing. You can come to Skye for this phenomenal price because we've obviously raised so much money to help subsidise this phenomenal space. And yeah, you can come to Skye and enjoy the benefits of that with like-minded others, because once you start fasting, you'll make it part of your life. And if you're terrified of it, you're going to probably, that's when the people that are most scared of it are the ones that realise it's actually not that big a deal. It's a feeling. That's it. And we're going to be doing meditating, chanting, moving, kundalini, yoga, let it go-ga, lots of letting go, and the concepts and the labels and the idea that we're powerless, because we really are very, very powerful. So there'll not be a moment where you'll be sitting even thinking about hunger. If the weather's in it and you're well enough and fit enough, we'll go out into the mountains and drink in some of the powerful energy. We have the sauna, Arisig sauna. So there's such a powerful way to help you detox is sweating. And also to know that if you go into the river or into the tub, which we have now, you've got the sauna to go into afterwards. So if you're even scared of the cold but would like to try it, maybe dip your toe in the water, then it's just a fantastic space and place to do it. So you're going to have a phenomenal experience. So with intermittent fasting, how are you guys all getting on, the ones that are joining in the Heal Scotland challenge? So obviously we're looking at breaking habits. I'm forgetting it's even January because I'm away up here living in it's been so beautiful. And I've just completely forgotten that it's the January blues time. So it just shows you how psychological that can be. But it is a time, where we take stock. And I think after last year, for a lot of us, that was pretty dodgy. So we start to go, right, okay, what can we do as we observe our systems collapsing around us, waiting lists getting longer, and we fully know that we can have an impact on the body that is anything from, a minor improvement to a miraculous development. And if you haven't seen The Source yet, Joe Dispenza's documentary, then you absolutely have to watch that. If you have any doubt that your mind has power over your body, then you watch that documentary and you will see the science, which everybody seems to love, because we've lost our ability to even know if we feel good. We need somebody to tell us, yeah, you're good, you're good. Our obsession of looking inside the body and our obsession in tests, etc., has driven us down a not very healthy road. And also, we're living in this time sort of from 3-dimensional energy to 5-dimensional energy, which is simply a shift from the physical into the metaphysical, which is outside the physical, which is the electromagnetic field that the body is part of and the body interacts with and communicates with. So I hope that's quite clear and doesn't sound woo-woo, because it isn't. It's quantum physics. So when we start to understand that our thoughts, our feelings, our perceptions, our beliefs, our behaviours, our cells are eavesdropping in on that, and they're taking in that information, it's very exciting to understand that. But then obviously what happens is it's a big responsibility, right? You have to stop blaming, shaming and complaining and bringing the apparent others down, which can be a challenge, trust me. So what do you do then? And when do you start beating yourself up because you ate a biscuit outside your fasting window? What we know from the late Michael Mosley, who, much as I disagreed with some of what he did, he gave us a huge favour around fasting and the ability to change especially type 2 diabetes, which unstable blood sugar leads to all diseases really. But he really helped us to see the power of fasting and intermittent fasting and not eating at night. But also what he did, he showed us the data around crash diets, which we're always told they don't work. Well, turns out they do. And then what's the other myth? That the more you try, the more likely you are to succeed, which really is pretty obvious. But, well, I've tried that, it didn't work. Well, try again and try harder and get around the people that are doing it. You know, it's the same as anything. Of course, you get better at it. The more you try, the more likely you are to succeed. You know, anything for the first time can be a challenge and you can end up giving up. The first time's always a bit, well, it can be a bit like, whoa, what's going on here? Keep trying it, keep practicing, get familiar with it, and getting familiar that you do not need to eat your feelings away, much as that can be a very enjoyable process. So let's do a little bit of EFT around that you can absolutely 100% take control over this baby. Override the past, because we're all living through the programs, we're all hanging out in our comfort zone. And what we're saying now is come out the comfort zone and make the uncomfortable comfortable. See, easy peasy. As soon as you create the habit of intermittent fasting, I just don't eat after that time at night. Now, I'm not saying go on holiday and go out for dinner at midnight. Of course, do that. I'll be doing that. But just in general, in your day-to-day life, when you're going through the motions that we'd go through, this is a brilliant, free way to help your body heal. And, you know, I've started doing 20 minutes meditation a day. This is only day 2, just did it without any music or anything. Taught to me by Reverend Joe Royal. Amazing day. If you get a chance to do that day, I loved it. So simple. She just explains it really well, and really between that and the source, I'm just being super motivated to do it, because really everything that we're teaching from the Heal Scotland perspective is how to let go of the toxicity on a physical, emotional, mental and spiritual level, which means we have to get into the subconscious. And there's only certain ways that we can do that. We can do it unconsciously or we can do it consciously, and that's what we're looking at, understanding how to fly this baby. So when you come and fast, it's this. Your biography, your stories, your blaming, shaming and complaining becomes your biology. The body doesn't know what you're talking about. It just hears the information. It feels the ejection of the stress hormones. And for a lot of that, that's just pure drama. It's all bullshit. So, and it's a habit, right? It's just like, you get that. I mean, I'm really catching myself on in my habits, because I'm up here with all this amazing equipment in this land, teaching these techniques, experiencing all these techniques, eating John's unbelievably delicious food. You know, I'm totally blessed. I don't have anybody to think about except me, and I absolutely know that's not the situation for most people. But the thing is, I have to work on myself so that I can tell you what works best for me and inspire you to take on 1 or 2 of these things. And I like free things, and fasting's free. Hey, Kenny, I'll give you a call later if you're around. Be great to catch up. Yeah, so fasting is free. Breathing is free. Going into a stream or a burn or a river or the sea, it's all free, and I like free stuff. And it's been amazing here to be able to give people courses. People thanking me for discounting it so that they can afford it. You know, I just want people that want to be here. I don't care about the money. It's just got nothing to do with money. We need to move out of that paradigm. Bills have to get paid. Categorically, I understand that. And healers and teachers and leaders have to pay their mortgage just like everybody else. But Heal Scotland's not about that. Heal Scotland's about just people with desire to change, people that want to be part of the movement, which has got to be a groundswell of us, the people, getting together and going, what can we do collectively to improve our health, to improve our happiness and joy? And you know the answer: community. Community is immunity, and Kenny's there creating a fantastic community We're creating a fantastic community. We collaborate with the Polar Bear Club. I'm jealous of how many followers or likes he gets. I'm ecstatic that somebody's brought that to Scotland, and that movement and that honesty. And I love his videos, the vulnerability, the honesty. That's not easy, but when we do it together, one day I'll pull you up, next day you'll pull me up. That's how it works. We need to stop competing. It's not a competitive world. We need to be like, thank you for doing amazing work in our country. And collab's the new black. Collaboration is the way ahead, where we care about everyone. Stop bringing others down because they've got more likes, more this, more that, stole your ideas. Who cares? If you're good at what you do, people will come to you. People may not understand me. They may not like me. I know a few people don't. That's okay. You get drawn towards the people that are right for you. And that's why we have to celebrate the amount of incredible work that's going on in Scotland, because there is. There's lots of brilliant groups and there's lots of stuff. And, it's much easier for me to say how amazing Kenny is and how great that work is. And it's easier for him to say, go and check out Heal Scotland, than blowing your own trumpet the whole time. And that's what's great about this retreat. We've got so many amazing teachers. Effortless running. Do you want to learn how to run? Do you want your teenagers and your kids to learn how to run in that really effortless, amazing way, conserving energy, reducing the risk of injury, and having a lot of fun with running rather than a drudge? Or do you want to come and do some ceremonies? Do you want to come and do Wim Hof? Do you want to learn about Bach flower remedies? All of that we've got, and there's something for everyone. Maybe you want to just come and stay. Let me know. Come and stay for the whole 2 months. It's an absolute feast of information that will serve you and yourselves safely. And everybody will be drawn to some different person, and everybody will be drawn to different techniques at different times. I've not been in the Polar Bear Club yet, but I will be when I get back. I want to take my son and my grandson along, and we can all laugh at each other together. And, compete with that. How long did you stay? And there's nothing wrong with that. Competing against yourself and having a laugh. I love it. I love the fact that the guy that was in for 6 hours or something mental came out because he was wanting a fag. I mean, to me, that's just hilarious. That's Scotland, isn't it? We need to start having a laugh again and stop going, it's all so serious. It's all so amazing. What have we got in Scotland? Rain and midges, yes. But the land and the attitude, and my favourite thing is the sense of humour. So yeah, I've gone completely off track, Kenny. That was you. Thank you for coming on. So let's look at some emotional release around the bullshit we tell ourselves. And maybe, you're feeling somebody's taking your ideas and somebody's doing something that's not quite right. So what? That's humans. It doesn't matter. Come and steal as much information from Heal Scotland as you want. Take the ideas, bring them into your communities, because as far as I'm concerned, that's the only way we're going to turn our embarrassing health trajectory round. If we want to be the sickest neighbour in Europe, do we? Do we care? Maybe we don't care for ourselves, but is that what we want for our children and our grandchildren as we pass on our health picture to the next generation? I mean, we can't do that. As soon as you wake up, you'll realise we need to take that dependence on the idea there's a pill to fix you. We're an energy system. We've been programmed, and a lot of us have been programmed in a negative way, unwittingly. And, as Vida says from Family Constellations, but we were given life, this absolute opportunity, sacred opportunity to be here. And how do we look forward and take this forward instead of looking back? And, we've got a lot of Scottish history that we're carrying a lot of that information in the DNA. But now there's no excuse for carrying that any longer, because we have phenomenal ways to let that go, quite simply. So let's do a little bit of EFT around some of the BS that happens. So even although I don't like changing my diet, and even although I really like to snack late at night after my dinner, and even although I like food that I know is not good for me, and even although I know I emotionally eat, and even although I know I've got a wee sugar, wine, bread habit that's not serving me. Even although my mind knows what to do, but I don't do it. I deeply and completely love, trust, and accept myself. Even although I am not yet perfect. And even although I justify why I don't do the things I know I should, I tell myself stories. Oh, I was busy. Oh, I was stressed. Oh, I was sick. Oh, yada, 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 yada. All stories that really just mean I've got no strong boundaries. I'm not tapping. I'm not doing the things that I know make me feel good. Maybe some breath work, a cold shower, simple as that. But even although I'm a work in progress, and even although I need to take milk in my tea, that's my favourite one, I deeply and completely love, trust, and accept myself. Even although I tell a lot of stories that are not helpful. And even although I still blame, shame, and complain sometimes. And even although I've got a lot of concepts and labels around my power that don't serve me. Even although I break the rules that I make for myself, I deeply and completely love, trust, and accept myself. Keep tapping, keep breathing. And I'm now open to expanding my awareness. Keep breathing, keep tapping. I allow myself to be open to the power of fasting. I can start with 1 hour before I go to bed, stretch it from up to 2 hours, then 3 hours, and then be open to 24 hours. I'm open to letting go all the limiting beliefs around food. That I need carbs, I need sugar, I need wine, I need bread, I need whatever it is you're saying you need. I'm loosening my grip on all these addictions and distractions. I allow myself to override the conditioning and the programs. I'm releasing my grip on the stories that hold me stuck. Keep tapping, keep breathing. I allow myself to effortlessly follow my 16-8, 18-6, whatever time frame I choose. And even although it's the middle of January, I can start now. I don't need to wait for a certain day or a certain date. Just do it today. I allow myself to join in and tribe up, even though I'm a wee bit scared that I'll fail. I am open to success. The more I try, the more likely I am to succeed. I'm wakening up to the power within. And I'm rising out of the victim consciousness. I'm remembering. I am awakening. I am raising my own vibration because I can. I am a powerful energy being. Yay! Deep breath. Feel that. You probably feel a wee bit of tingling. It's all energy. That's all it is. All stories. All concepts and labels. So yeah, our desire to override the programs, to let go of the habits, it's all up to us. Where are we taking our mind? What can you imagine in this moment? I can imagine the mountains outside, the views, the river. When it was icy last week, the beauty. Or I can imagine my grandson. I can imagine the stats, Scotland's health picture, suicide rates have been transformed. Imagine things that make you feel amazing and tribe up with like-minded others, because it can be a lonely old path if you feel you're beating a drum and you're not getting anywhere. If you understand quantum physics, you will know that it can only be done collectively. It's got to be a groundswell of the people for the people, regardless of the labels you've been given or given yourself, regardless of your postcode. Everybody's hearts are waking up, that heart's desire for a better way of life, for more love, for more joy, and not looking to somebody else to give it to us, but to be a sovereign being with other sovereign beings where we support from a place of no agenda. I don't want your money. I don't want your body. I don't want your status. I don't want your followers. People can feel an agenda a mile away. So come and share. The only way this can ever be done is when we all pull together. There is no other way. So if you're still blaming, shaming and complaining and bringing other people that are doing great work down, then you don't understand the physics. Simple as that. And then when you do understand the physics, you'll probably still do it. I still do it. I still think, asshole. Then I'm like, oh, what's in there for you to see in you? Because I know I'm an asshole a lot of the time. But have fun with that as well. Don't give yourself a hard time. I know I'm unfurling 64 years of conditioning where sarcasm and, pointing out the obvious is just part of the culture. And I quite like being around people that enjoy that without any negative connotations around it. So, yeah, it's up to you. It's up to us. Can't be done alone. Cannot. We simply are all in this together. And the power of the group, what we've created already in this healing centre, in this phenomenal space, I really hope you can come and see it. Has just been purely incredible. Everybody is really just taking it on. Made a lot of heavy work last week with family constellations. It's not easy to look at your family. Nobody wants to. But I think we're all starting to understand, well, what that system could be holding us back. And if we look at it and acknowledge it, it stops holding us back. Who would have thought? Acknowledge, because there's a big spiritual thing. Well, don't focus on the negative. Well, don't focus on it, but bloody well know it's there. There's a lot of not very nice people there, but you don't need, you can acknowledge it, the acknowledgement of it. Once you know somebody's a paedophile or a thief, you just don't give them opportunity. They still have a place. They're there, aren't they? So when we can acknowledge that, that's the power, not the kidding on they don't exist. I mean, I'm shocked at all the sexual abuse that's coming out now. It's like, what is wrong with us? Reading about Richard Branson, P. Diddy, these estate agents in New York, and what's happening in our political parties. It's just mental. And what are we going to do about that? Well, here's what we're going to do. We're going to raise our own vibration. And we're going to acknowledge what's happened. And we're not going to let these people ruin another second of our lives. We have that power. And things like what Kenny's doing at the Polar Bear Club, the ice can take you to a place that you just didn't ever know was possible. And the ice doesn't have an agenda. The mind is the issue. And as soon as we start harnessing the power of the mind, not stopping it, not shutting it up, not just observing that it's there, becoming the observer, being detached, stop tormenting ourselves every minute of every day and ejecting the stress hormones in and literally poison ourselves. Now, it takes a long, long time to kill your body, but some of us are having a bloody good go at it. So when we start changing what we're thinking about and what we're focusing on, while full acknowledgement of what people have been doing, and shining a light on that and getting the shame out of it, you know, because the shame is held by the person, the victim, perpetrator. As soon as we realise I did not ask or want that, I acknowledge that person did that, then everything starts to change. And this is where we're going. Get everything out from under the carpet, shine the light on it. And, you know, there's behaviours that have been unbelievably evil to a degree that's quite hard to get your mind round, and how people were complacent and went along with it, or at the very least were too scared to speak out. And I totally get that. But now it's like, no, we need to break through that fear and that shame. So we're going to be doing a lot of that at the retreats. Contact VW if you're interested in the family side of it. Loads of people doing amazing work. Come and see us here in Skye. Right, I'm rabbling on now. Please, you know the deal. Please share it with like-minded others. Tell me who's doing amazing work. Let's get all together and let's really raise the roof on the health picture of our country. And I will talk to you real soon. Ciao.